he's sitting right next to that one, so it's one of the two of you guys.
This will be 4K though, so.
This is the experiment we talked about.
We shall see how that turns out.
He's the ketchup. Thought Indy was next to the mic.
Could just use that one.
Don't like that one.
Why do you like that one?
Because I don't.
That makes no sense. Usually there's a why.
What's going to happen is Danielle's going to call back and we're not going to have a mic to put down next to the phone, so we need to angle one of the mics.
Swing that over here and see if we'll go in the middle of the table.
Of course it will. It's an amazing mic stand.
Your dirty mouth. That'll work. That'll work. If she calls back, we'll just put it right there.
Oh, now you did it. Now you did it.
That is the only problem. This one doesn't have one of those clippy things for the cord.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
A lot of finger wagging. Naysayers.
And we're back. Welcome to the stage, Sapphire. Sapphire Selesky.
Cinnamon, that's a dog's name.
Sapphire. Cory Lavender Selesky.
Lavender.
Welcome everybody to episode 37 of the Schnozzcast.
It's too soon. We gotta wait until like 2 minutes before we sign off. All right, so Cory's with us now. He's ready to go. He's got a vat of Fireball sitting in front of him, a warm Sprite and vodka.
That's cold.
Just the way he doesn't like it. And he's got camera mounted here, not streaming, but still recording in 4K. First experiment. What other first do we have tonight? We did a successful call-in test.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard.
And so we're excited to hopefully hear back from Ms. Danielle Kearns after her naughty sex toy party has concluded. But sad news for you, sir, today. Struck out on the Tool tickets.
No.
You forgot it was on sale today, didn't you?
I did. Well, you're the Tool Army member, so.
You didn't need to be a Tool Army member to buy tickets. Unless you were going for tickets yesterday of the VIP at $500 a crack.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's all. But supposedly you got to sit on their sound check, and you got to meet and greet with the band, take a picture, some sort of backstage smoky den with probably like a cheese tray and
opium?
and some White Claws. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it, so it was disappointing, man. By the time I connected at like 10:01, Ticketmaster's doing this new thing now where they put you in a queue. It doesn't. Before it was just like ready. Either here's your tickets, or no, too bad, try again. Now you're going into queue, so it's like they give you a graphic, and you're not supposed to exit the page on your phone while it refreshes in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you have 2,000 plus in front of you. Please stay on the page, and the page will refresh. I'm like, 2,000 people?
Oh, that's it?
So, yeah, I knew it was a fool's errand by the time I started.
Oh, it's alright, it happens.
By the time I got in, all the tickets were gone. There were still ones that popped up, but I couldn't even buy like a single seat because I tried. I'm like, I wonder if I could buy a single seat. No. Cheapest tickets were $60. 60 to 94, 220 to 300.
Yeah, I like Tool, but that's a bit much to...
I honestly, I clicked on the $120 tickets. I'm like, for $120 a ticket to see Tool, I would do that because I'd never seen it before. But I knew that I'm only going for 2, for me and Jack, because you've already seen him. There's no fucking way you're going to pay.
No, not 120 for...
Yeah.
After seeing him 4 times.
No. So, I'm like, if I could get 4 for $60 a piece, I know you're in. But anything more than that, I'm like, Cory's not going to be in.
Yeah, 60 I would have done, but 120, that's
Right.
a bit much.
Are we joining him, or is he just catching up?
For anybody, for anybody that can't see,
He's no straw.
Cory just marinated some of his mustache hairs in Fireball.
Oh, is it Friday already?
I guess so.
Well, welcome, sir. Catch up. Now that you can lift it up without it spilling, go ahead and tip that back, and we'll continue.
You did miss a couple gems.
Yeah?
I'm not sure we'd call them gems.
No, well...
What would we call him?
So Bob and I were just...
Regrettable decision.
Bob and I were just talking. He was over there. He was looking at me. And he starts... Oh, yeah, it gets better.
The Chaser's on the left.
Yep. He starts with wanting to do a shot immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Before new business, before anything.
We'd already been talking for probably a good 12, 13 minutes.
No.
Yes, I watched the clock.
Then Bob went...
You got a dog hair hanging from your
Oh! That's going right in your mouth!
Upwind.
Oh, look at that.
Then Bob made some sort of a comment about not being able to keep it up.
I was trying to... You were trying to get something to show up on your phone, and I'm like, oh, let me try to get it up over here.
Then a short while later, Bob made another comment about... Oh,
you were reviewing the poll.
He's like, oh. He's like, well, I'll let you... well, let's take a look at your poll. And I'm like, Bob. And he's like, I'm really trying. I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not trying. And he's like...
Oh, okay.
He's like... So then all of a sudden, Indy runs over and grabs this from under the table that's been sitting underneath all your Sprite for months. He's like, oh... Looks like someone found an old bone. Like, okay, Bob, there's no video documentation of you're prying me with shots, and now you've said
his immediate
you're going to try and get it up.
Let everybody know that it's just him and me in the basement.
Yeah, I'm like, you're
making it worse
with shots immediately. Everything's going backwards. He's not even touched on new business yet. He's talking about my pole not being able to get it up and someone's old bone.
It's very presumptuous of you to think I was talking about your pole.
He's looks like someone found an old bone. I'm like,
but did they though?
I'm like,
oh, I see.
He's just laughing.
Old bone.
Yeah.
You're talking about me.
Yeah, of course.
I got it now. That's.
Ooh, would you look at that? That's where it's been.
Yeah, I'm sure for the listeners it was just as funny the second time around.
Oh my God! I after the
Moving
third time, I'm
on.
like, dude, you, and he's like, oh, he's like cracking up. I'm like,
Moving on.
Jesus.
So yeah,
It's my
Tons of good
dog.
shit you missed.
Sounds like it. Sounds like a pretty homoerotic time.
Yeah, it was very strange.
It's like Caligula in here.
So then he calls Danielle.
We called a bunch of people trying to get him, but Danielle was the first one to pick up. She actually called back.
But apparently she is having a sex toy party.
Oh.
And that's
We
what
called in the middle of the sex toy party.
Why weren't we invited?
Probably for good reasons.
Bob's like, well, he's like, I give her a lot of credit, because...
Well, hold on. Why did I give her a lot of credit?
Because...
What did I ask her to do? Before she signed up.
Family's gone. I told her, hey, just put it down on the table and let us hear the conversation for like 10 minutes. She's like, yeah, it's probably going to be how you would think it would be, and no, I can't. That's going to be a hard no. And
you didn't blame me for trying, though, right?
He's like, but
right?
I give her a lot of credit. She's with like 6 or 7 girls. She's still going to answer her phone. They're all having a good time.
They're talking about
They're probably
nothing but
drinking.
dick.
He's like, trying out all these new devices. I'm like, I don't know if
Bob's
if
just setting the scene in his own head.
He's like, let me have my fun.
They're right. They're probably all getting topless, touching each other.
Yes.
I said, are they pillow
Are you
fighting right
suggesting
now?
they're not? Bite your goddamn tongue, sir.
And Daniel's like, oh, my Bluetooth.
Cory, I'm not a spring chicken anymore like yourself. You could let me have that at least for tonight, can't you?
I guess I'll give you that much.
All right.
Another priceless quote.
I'll give it to you.
The
Just
fantasy.
be careful of his old bone.
Don't wreck my fantasy.
But she was like, hello, in normal Danielle fashion, and that's not a piece of cheese, by the way.
Thought it was.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, well, you'll have to. I'll have to call you guys back. She's like, because initially my Bluetooth answered, and it was like, Bob Rankin is calling, da 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 da. And so she went on and on. She's like, but we are having a treasure chest party.
Pure romance.
Yeah, party.
Treasure chest.
I'm like, whatever, yeah. So I said, well, the Bluetooth that you have, what is it shaped like? She's like, it's long and cylindrical, as with other things at this party right now. I'm like, I told Bob, I said, it took a lot of effort. You could tell that they were very focused at the party because there was a bunch of people in the background whose phones were going off, but they must have been on vibrate, and I guess we thought they were their phone.
That's a long buzz on that phone.
Stephanie, answer your phone.
Julie, stop calling me. Wait, no, call me again. One more time. I'm not going to answer that. I'm just going to let it ring. Go to voicemail. Go to voicemail. Oh, voicemail.
Hello.
All right. Well, we don't. For all the listeners, they're now hearing that twice. So let's move on to some new topics. Sir, how are you? How's work?
It was work.
Yeah. How's your week?
A little short today.
Work was short.
Oh yes.
Why was work short? And why did you not get here earlier than you were supposed to then?
No, it wasn't. We were short in manpower.
I see. Short-handed.
You can ask the person to my left why we were short-handed.
No idea.
And then, come to find out, parts of 94 that I needed to get on were closed. So I had to take some crazy back streets to get here, only to come to find out that the street I need to take to get to your house is also closed.
You know why?
Because they're doing construction?
No, that's not why.
Oh, it's not why?
No,
Construction.
I can tell you exactly why. God is punishing you for the last podcast where you neglected to tell Nick Bader that all the roads were closed.
Not all the roads were closed.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Only 94, and he gets off work earlier than I do, so...
Yeah, but you could have told him and didn't. So this is God's punishment.
There's no such thing.
As punishment or God?
Either one.
Hey, we don't talk about religion on this podcast. But I still think it's God punishing you.
So yeah, that was...
God's revenge.
That was a
His
nice
holy revenge.
end to the work day.
Mm-hmm.
And, did someone quit?
Somebody quit.
You guys don't need to air dirty laundry on the to the entire
No,
world.
The one we're thinking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did he?
I don't know.
Oh, because we were just looking at the details for the next, week and a half, and, he's not on any of them.
Yeah, he doesn't. I think he's going. There's some vacations going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
So did you have a good time at the Oxford yesterday, sir?
We did. We had a very good time, and we had it was kind of different this year.
They served rabbit instead of ox. How was it different?
No, normally there's 4 people that are always there prior to Danielle and I arriving.
Who is that?
It would normally be Mr. Martinez, Mr. Bader, Tony, and a certain Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I texted Nick at probably about 12:30, so normally he'd already have been there in the door, beer in hand.
You're saying he wasn't his normal, chipper, go to the ox roast self?
So and I didn't receive any message back for quite some time, so I had some running around to do.
Peculiar.
We get there at noon, by the way. Every year we get there at noon.
So
Did you get there at noon this year?
No.
So finally Tony texted me. I'm like, well, Tony's obviously there.
But he's not going to show up without Nick.
So I called Tony. I said, hey, have we heard from Nick? He says, no, me, my dad, and Mr. Bader are here, but no Nick.
Was Wednesday night that bad?
Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you.
It wasn't that bad. It was kind of normal. But I went home.
You still have top hair on the bottom of your beard?
But I went home.
You got it?
Yeah. But I went home and was paranoid that I wasn't going to fall asleep right away. So I took some Benadryl and slept through my alarms.
Okay.
Woke up and I'm like,
but hold on, wouldn't you not take the Benadryl until you'd already not been asleep for a while?
Well, because I typically don't go to bed till like 4 or 5 in the morning. So when we got back at like 3, I was like, okay, I'm going to be up for another 2 hours.
But if you typically do that, why wouldn't you have just waited until then and then like, oh, now if it gets to be 5:36, then you go, oh, now.
Because I am not usually 40 minutes away at noon, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But on days like this, I get super paranoid that I'm not going to be there on time.
Oh, okay.
And I took this instead of taking melatonin.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And yeah,
I get you.
Cory has
you couldn't have
similar
relied on
Benadryl.
You couldn't have relied on your good friend Cory to give you a wake-up call?
Oh no,
No?
Well, like I said,
he got several calls.
Yeah, there was. I was like, I'm like, look over and it's like 14:05 or something. I'm like, whoa, what? And I'm like, oh, this day sucks.
I missed it. I missed the Oxford.
No, because I know my dad and Tony and everybody are already there.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
already 3 sheets of the wind, belly full of ox.
But I don't feel too bad because Cory has never gotten there at noon, really, ever.
I'm not surprised.
He got there earlier than you this year, though.
Yeah, right, exactly. Usually, like at 3 o'clock.
That's kind of a dubious victory, sir. The one where the 1 year that Nick overslept by 2 hours for you to be in there.
It was pretty nice.
I guess technically you take your pictures where you can get them.
Like, yeah, whatever.
Then someone comes walking in and joins the circle. It's like, I didn't bring a chair.
You came without a chair?
Yep. Totally. So I made sure to stop and get my cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Made sure to bring my Yeti cup. Made sure, I had my wireless charger and like all this stuff in an effort to remember everything. I completely forgot the most obvious, which was a chair, so I sat on the ground.
So how many? So you got there at 2, right?
No, it was probably like 3:30.
You got there at 3:30. Okay. So how long did you stay? When did you leave the Ox Rose?
7.
The whole thing stopped at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which is obviously why you wanted to get there at noon.
Yeah, we've always taken. Tony and I first started by going for like 2 hours in the middle of it, and then my dad was the one who was like, for as much as you guys like to have a good time, it's not something for me, but you guys should really be making a day of this.
Yeah.
And ever since we have, it was always right at noon because it used to start at 11.
So I've done that before, very rarely, but where you kind of life gets in the way. Whatever happened, and you're late for something that you were really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And so does that kind of like taint the experience for you then, where you go like,
no.
So when you got there, where you're like, God damn it, I missed like 2 quality hours to spend time with my friends. And so you just like fell right into it. And you were
fell right into it.
Okay.
I was okay with it.
Good for you.
Because it was what it was. On a lot of circumstances, I can get up in my own head and completely sink the ship. But
that's what I was thinking you were going to do. But that's where I thought the story was
going. No, Nick made it a point to get there and finagle 3 shots out of people, and
3 shots or free shots?
3.
3 shots.
Well, two free ones and one that they had to pay for, but they got a lot of extra incentives for it. So.
Okay, sounds like a pure romance party.
One of the shots I included Mr. Selesky on, that he begrudgingly.
Hold on, no, there's never been a begrudging.
No, because because that's not the way it
adverb
went.
Has never been.
Nick insisted that I talk to the former chief of Brownstown and Wyandotte that puts on the Ox Roast every year.
Yeah. Yep.
Knowing he was already pretty well off, I'm like, I don't really need to go talk to him, because the only thing that's going to be brought up as far as me is like, oh, did you know my dad? Which I'm sure he already did. But Nick's bottom line was, if we go talk about your dad, we can possibly get a shot out of him.
Well,
which Nick did not say until we got over there, and Chief Danny was like, "Oh, this is a shot, guys. Come on."
Actually,
I'm like, that's what Nick was looking for.
No, it was definitely not that. Honestly, I told him, like I said earlier on the podcast at the time, I said that, I'm like, dude, you have an opportunity of somebody that was a chief when your dad was a chief, and they probably ran in the same circles. Maybe he's got some story that he's like, oh my God, you're Cory? And he's like, I don't care. Like, what?
Yeah. Nick's original. Well, what if he has some earth-shattering story like, yeah, your dad and I went to
be safecrackers.
Went to conference together. I'm like, oh yes, that would be earth-shattering.
My shrimpo captain at one time.
We both buried all this money in this field that we're in right now.
No, that would be earth-shattering.
Right.
Yeah, and this tattoo of the coordinates to get there.
I'm very sure they've been to a conference together.
The thing is that it takes a vial of male Selesky blood and a vial of mine to unlock this safe. And we've been waiting for years for you. Like, he's pulling the sword out of the stone,
That's, back in the 70s, they had the technology.
ID confirmed.
What's the... I'll tell you, there was...
Oh, my God!
I think it was a couple of weeks ago, on the podcast... And I think I've listened to it. I've had to listen to it a couple different times now.
Okay.
And you're like, he's trying to log out his laptop, and you're waiting for it to get started, and you're like, blonde eyelashes accepted. It kills me every time. Every time.
Because I said I forgot about that. When I said the biometric scanning.
Yeah.
Biometric scanning. Boop. Boop. Blonde eyelashes. ID confirmed. Laptop turns back on.
Yeah, so to be clear, I laughed on the podcast, and I listened to it at least twice after that. Killed me every time.
But I love it because he was just completely ignoring me the whole time we were talking about this.
Well, I would have been doing the same thing. But
just like
as an outsider, I'm like, oh my God, it's hilarious. All right, so Nick, you're drinking a little Dark Horse Raspberry. I applaud you, sir.
Yeah.
Fine choice.
Yeah, it's not as...
one of my favorites.
Heavy on the raspberry as Rubaeus.
Yeah, that's true.
But they didn't have Rubaeus, so...
GW's Little White Lie, Tart Cherry, Belgian-style ale. Monkey Fist Brewing Company, picked it up at the corner store this afternoon.
Nice.
Surprisingly, I got the Instagram question wrong. It was weird.
Bathwater?
Yeah, I chose bathwater.
Well, no, we talked about the Facebook poll, but we didn't talk about the Instagram.
Yeah, the Instagram poll was something. There's a million different things you can do, apparently. You can ask questions, you can yes or no's and polls and all kinds of stuff. But so I tried one down in the corner. I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to work. Apparently it does.
Yeah. Now, how did you know that because I responded, you were like, Bob, you got that one right. Did you get a notification that I had answered?
No, as the originator of the person that started it, it'll say review answers, and it shows everyone's picture and what answer they chose. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
all right, so you didn't get a notification, but you could at any point look and see who answered what.
If I could climb to the top of a phone pole right now with my arm up and get a signal, I would show you, but I can't.
As a matter of fact, I can't even load any text messages on my computer right now because.
Well, look.
What text do you think he wants to send right now?
Kiss, kiss, kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I love you, babe. Look, Danielle's going to be listening to this, and she's going to get a kick out of that, and you're going to thank me, sir. You're going to get a big kiss from her. Oh, Cory, were you really thinking of me when I wasn't there?
She'll never know. Maybe something happened to him.
You're my favorite.
I was going to get yelled at that I didn't respond to text message.
Because you're in this fairy tale.
How are you going to know? Is it she's just going to open her mouth and the volume's going to overtake you?
Tomorrow morning, thanks for not texting me back until
he'll get out
you guys
to his
done.
He'll get out to his car. Zzz, zzz, zzz,
now, if she
Wait, are we at the sex store party? What's happening?
Yes.
Now, once she goes to bed, she's asleep. She doesn't wake up to respond back after I say my final goodnight.
Kiss, boy. See, that's when you got to bombard her with text while she's sleeping. That'll buy you at least 3 or 4 hours the next day. go and text her.
Did you see what happened when Nick bombarded her with text that one night?
Oh, she was not happy.
Yeah, you'd be persona non grata for the next 3 or 4 hours when she wakes up. And then you get a break.
I don't know if I see your logic on this one.
A break where you don't have to respond to texts like as soon as they're sent? Because she's mad at you for texting her over and over and over again while she's sleeping?
You know what's funny is that
play a long game, Cory.
There is an app. I don't know about. I'm sure for iPhones as well, but there's an app that you can send specific texts at certain times, and it'll just do it randomly, like on your phone. You could say like,
"You son of a bitch."
At 2:35 a.m.
I know you've used that on me before.
I love you. Good night.
Yeah, I know. She'd catch on to that one after a while.
How?
I'm not going to talk about that one right now, but I'll tell you guys later.
Alrighty.
Because I know I'll just get made fun of for it. So.
Okay.
Yes, good job. Deny.
Oh, and off topic, but at the old Ox Roast yesterday, a secret was expelled. So Angie was with us, and she wanted to lock her purse up in my trunk. Mm-hmm. And
are you going to reveal the secret here on the podcast to the entire internet?
I am.
All right. You might want to make sure that's going to be okay with.
Because I know the person I know the person it's meant for is not going to hear this.
Okay.
But Angie looks in the trunk and she goes, "Oh, that's your fireball shot ski?"
Oh, went in her trunk?
In my trunk.
Oh. Oh no.
And I was like,
"Oh no.
Hey Angie." I'm like, yeah.
Holy shit.
She's like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything. She's like, she's like, he was not gonna even realize until next pig roast.
Okay, good. That was my concern, was that he's been looking for this whole time.
Well, and that's how I'm like, that's what I figured.
Turning the bar upside down.
I'm like, Angie, this is the long game.
Yeah.
She's like, no, she's like, your secret's safe with me. But then when we were talking when we were actually sitting there eating and drinking, she's like, he might actually look for it around Halloween.
That's coming up soon.
I'm like, oh, that's fine.
Halloween party pulls out the shot ski?
Apparently,
You guys. Oh my god. So I had to drive Angie home.
Oh yeah.
Cory picked her up. I can drive her home. No problem. Leaving, the sun's just about to set.
Chase is on the left.
Yep.
You're painting a very romantic picture.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a nice time of night. I'm like, I got some time. I'm gonna go home, take a nap. I can nap for 4 hours and still go to Ray's.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
When was this?
Yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm driving. She goes, hey honey, I just gonna stop by a florist if I could.
A what?
Stop by a florist. I go, you what? It's like 7:30 at night. I'm like, well, what are you talking about?
Is she half in the bag from the Ox Roast?
Maybe.
At this point? Okay.
She go, well, this guy passed away at Ray's, and he's a really good friend, and Jason, gave me some money, and I'm gonna pick up a really nice arrangement. She's like, I already called, it's already waiting. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay. So she's like, put this address in. It's right in Lincoln Park.
Florist is in Clawson.
Right in Lincoln Park. It closes.
Holland, Michigan.
She's like, it closes at 8. I'm like, okay.
7:53.
So we pull up. She's like, I'll just be a minute. Walks inside.
Is that?
I was in my car for 55 minutes.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
Why?
55 minutes.
Did you fall asleep?
I started to.
Okay.
I sent her a text. I said, leaving in 10, 9, 8. Because I said, what the fuck is going on? And she never. It was like this little, 50 by 50 florist.
Why didn't you just go in?
No. And so finally she comes outside, and I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, what is going on? The carnations, and they had to, because they're doing something special. I'm like, okay, Angie. So she goes back in for, it was like another 20 minutes. So it was like almost a total of an hour. And I literally went like this. I put my car in reverse. And I put my seat up. And she was right there putting it in the car. She's like, oh, thank you so much, honey bunch. She's like, thank you so much for staying.
But you were literally about to leave.
Oh, I was gone. But I hadn't like gone into reverse yet. Yeah. So she had no clue. And she's like, wow, you were so patient, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm a good friend. Oh, dude, that was.
Please tell me that following that, you're going to turn her down for late night florist runs the next time.
That would. Why would I ever think that?
I mean, I love it because we get a great story. If
a good friend, especially at that point, you're tipsy, you want to go lay down, you've had a great day.
Yeah. No, we're not going to the florist.
An hour in the florist parking lot.
No.
Oh my God! I didn't realize how long I was looking at my phone, and I literally started to fall asleep.
I watched a movie.
Oh my God! It was absolutely. There's no exaggerating. I was there for a fucking hour.
Took the ACT online.
So when he called me and told me that, I was like, oh, did I dodge a bullet there?
Oh, you were supposed to drive her home?
Oh, yeah, because we picked her up. But then Nick's ego got the best of him as we were leaving.
No, Nick being nice, saying you picked her up.
What are you doing? Come on, let's go.
Yeah, he picked her up. I thought it was nice that I was taking her home.
Nick walked right into it.
But you know what the bullshit of it was?
No.
Is knowing that whenever she's finished with this, I now have to drive her to E-Course, and then still 20 minutes from E-Course back to my house. So that was all, and I'm like,
Nick Nader.
Yeah. So, dude, I was done.
Yeah, you were better than that.
That was like an hour and 40 minutes that I'll never get back.
Oh, jeez, all right. I guess that's what we're doing.
It was horrible.
What is 12:28?
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been kind of like we were talking when it started. I decided I was gonna sit over there because it just seemed kind of silly for him and I to literally be this far from each other. So I'm like, well, I'll sit in Danielle's chair.
Oh, you sat all the way over here.
I sat, over there.
Okay.
And use that mic.
Corey's like,
she'll live. I sat in her chair. Hey, Lisinski sat in her chair. I think she'll be fine. But we went, like Nick was saying, we went 12, 13 minutes before I even announced what day it was. And then when I did, I forgot to say what episode number it was, and I had to do that 5 or 7 minutes later than that. And it was just one of those I feel like as soon as I sat down over there, everything is up is down, black is white, everything was backwards and back to front. And
Schnozzcast episode 1.
Yeah. Honestly, if you had shown up and we were still down here going, I would have just said, well, sit in my chair, because everything's already fucked up and might as well just do that.
all right, if you got him, lift him up.
All right, yep. Final shot.
That's what the,
what the fuck?
That's what the teeny shot there, bud.
I've already had
your template, bud.
3 heavy beers and 2 shots.
You don't work tomorrow.
Woo!
Yeah, but I gotta go to Herbs.
Oh, excuse me.
Peaches and herbs.
More than welcome to come.
This would be Yacht Rock as well.
Oh, I will.
If you can get someone to cover you at work.
When I'll be at work.
I feel like you just did that to rub it in. All right, well, yeah, it's been kind of an odd podcast. So, do you want to give us a sign off?
Yeah. So, welcome to episode 37, everybody. Let's take a look around the table, going in clockwise. We got Mr. Cory J. Selesky, myself, Bob Herbert Walker Rankin. It's good to be here, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night.
Oh, good night.